Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. I'm here with John, poorly
Hello.
John, who's feeling a bit better today. You all right, John?
Yeah, mate, not bad. Feeling a bit better. My voice is still a bit croaky, but I couldn't have done yesterday's show. I would have been coughing and spluttering all the way through it. And
no, that's fine, mate.
We probably would have had an argument, wouldn't we? So
100%, it would have happened. Yeah, would have made it better though. Would have made it better.
Maybe. But, it was really good. It was already good, don't we?
Yeah, we all just watched that kind of feels like a bit of a non-event now. That game against away at Southampton. As I don't know if you all just caught my solo watch along, the first one I've ever done. So well, we can't commit to doing that sort of thing every week because it's just my son's football. But we will do it. We'll do it more and more as and when we can do it. If I can't do it, John will do it, and so on and so forth. So quite enjoyed that. It was easy to do.
Yeah.
I did pipe through some commentary, so I don't know whether we're going to get our knuckles wrapped for it, but I should be all right. It should be fine.
Not you. They should ban you for a month.
Yeah, no, I know. But anyway, the game. I didn't see the first 20 minutes of it because I was late because of my son's football. John, take us through. Take us through the first 20 minutes. First of all, what you did? Did we start on the front foot, or was it? Would you say we did, or?
Mate, I don't know. I don't think we did personally. I think we could have took the game to them a bit more. I think the game, like, you know where I feel about Southampton. I hate playing Southampton. I've never, in recent years, I know we won there a few years back when Antonio and that, but every time I've been there, we've never played well. To me, playing Southampton, I always see Southampton a bit of a bogey team. Whether that's my own personal experience or fact, I don't know. But I don't like playing against them. No. Obviously, they're in a dismal run of form at the minute, really, when you look at the league and that. And
they were there to be got at today, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and I don't usually like that phrase because, you know, I always think that you've got to respect the team you play against. Don't take them for any mugs and all that. But yeah, they were there for the taking. I don't think we pressed as much as we should have. I don't think we took the game to them as much as we should have. Look, throughout the whole, some players flattered to deceive again. I know we discussed off air about Soufal, but look, he was only in the team because of injuries we've got at the minute, Dawson, etc. So if Dawson wouldn't have got injured in the week, he wouldn't have been playing Soufal. But he had a stinker. Yeah, but you know, when I look at the stats, and I know you're not one for stats and all that, we did have a lot of possession. We had more possession than them. We had more shots than them. Not all of them on target, as we know. No. And we had far more corners. So I just think the game was there for the taking, but I don't know. We didn't take it to them enough. I personally think, you know.
No, I don't think we did. I don't think we did. I think, like I said, I know we had a makeshift defence. I know we did. I don't necessarily think that you need to go three at the back when you've got a makeshift defence. I think that can add. I've said it before. You played the game as well, John. When three at the back is very different to two at the back. It is. You know your job. When you're playing two at the back, you kind of know your job. When you play three at the back, it's a bit more complex. Yeah. You know, so I think that you need people that really, really do know their job. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're creating chaos because people get confused. They get caught out of position. We saw it in the first half. We was kind of getting pulled. Cresswell and Kera were getting pulled all over the fucking place. Yeah. So I don't think that was necessarily the right thing to do. I always dread when we set up with a back three because it isn't a back three anyway. It's always a fucking back five. So it's a back five with two central defensive midfielders in front of them. So that's 7 defensive players. And then when you add, it is a bit, John. It is. That's
but
exactly
you know,
what it
but
is.
Nick, I always say this to you: in and out of possession is 2 different formations. When you're in possession, it's a 3. When you're out of possession, it's a 5. That is quite common. That is quite common.
It's common, but typically
when we play. Right.
No, it's typically, but if you assess the pattern of the way that we play when we play with 3 at the back, mostly it's out of possession. Mostly those wing backs are fullbacks. So you end up with 7 men behind the ball. It's a big ask to expect, you know, the likes of Emerson and fucking what's his name. I mean, Soufal does get forward. He gets forward, but he's crossing. He's pointless. He never clears he never hardly ever clears the first man. If it does, he never picks anyone out.
I can't work out what's happening to his surface because it used to be all right. I don't know what's happened in that short space of time. I don't know, you know.
I don't know. As John said here, unless you've got exceptional wing backs, it is a waste of time because when you play that way, that's where your main threat is going to come from. And I do think that Look, don't get me wrong. I think Scamacca, he had a few chances there. I think a lot of the work, a lot of the chances, he was almost Antonio-esque. He was sort of creating himself. He was holding the ball up, spinning people, fighting them. He didn't really have anything put on a plate for him today. The only one that I could say, I'm not going to recap it all bit by bit because it was there's no point. But
we'll do that later anyway on tonight's show.
Yeah, but the only thing that Scamacca did have was that kind of improvised knee where that was in the second half, wasn't it? Where he sort of kneed it over the bar. He meant that. I know it was unlucky. It was unlucky.
Yeah,
but,
he did mean that.
But service was shit. I think Paqueta, he's when we talk about, and we talk about Ben Rama and we kind of back Moyes up to a degree and say, the reason that Moyes don't play Ben Rama is because his end product ain't there. Paqueta's end products is about as effective as Ben Rama's in terms of his success rate, John. In terms of his success rate, in terms of converting shots and assists, I would say Benny is probably on par at the minute.
Yeah, but you said the other day that last week I think it was. I remember you avidly saying, or I remember you vividly saying that you expect some of Paqueta's passes to not get to the man because he tries the flamboyant.
I do. Yeah, but there was a lot today, though.
But the problem with that is I disagree with that comment you made because I think that you can't give the ball in the Premier League. You can't give the ball away willy nilly. So the flicks and tricks come out sometimes, or the flamboyant. They're great to watch and all that.
Yeah.
But in a team with Moyes where we don't play possession-based football, when we do get the opportunity, we need to keep it. And I think he gives the ball away a little bit too much today. We know he played brilliant the other day. Played well last week as well. Played well in Europe that first half. Played well last week against Fulham. But his end product does need to be better. And look, when Benny came on after 60 minutes, for me, Benny was probably man of the match in his half an hour.
He was man of the match, and straight away, I think it was Mandy. Mandy G was on the watch along. Straight away, she identified with Benny on the left hand side. He's occupying two players, which creates space in the middle. He literally had Benny. They had Walker Peters who couldn't put a tackle in at that point because he was on the yellow card, and had another player on him. And that was creating space. He was creating fucking chaos. Why that didn't happen sooner, I don't know. I know he came on about 58 minutes. But it's still too long. And then you got this from Ballon Dawson here saying a draw without Zuma and Dawson is okay. Now, the issue is, on paper, you're right, Ballon Dawson. But you know something? I think that was the mentality going into this game. The mentality was clearly because the minute we got that goal, we got the equaliser, that was it. The brakes went on. And then Southampton were the ones that were chasing the game. They made a quadruple sub and they were chasing that game. And they looked like the ones from that point who was going to go on and win the game.
Yeah, they were. But the only thing I'd say, and it's not to defend Moyes, but in football in general, when you know you've got a makeshift defence, now they're all defenders, we know that, but it's a makeshift defence. It's by no stretch our first choice defence.
No, it's
when
not.
you have that, okay, but when you have that, you do have to protect your weak spots. You have to protect your weak links a little bit. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's the other side of it. You've got to play
my argument is the back three exposes the weak spots. Because it creates chaos, it creates confusion.
I don't disagree with that either, but I'm saying that's the mindset behind that, and it's right or wrong. I don't know, probably wrong.
You'd have been better off today. As much as it would have pained me, today it would have made sense to play two at the back, to have dropped Rice in next to Kehrer and put Downs in the middle. That would have been a more conventional style. We'd have had two natural centre backs here. I know Rice. Well, he isn't. He can play centre back. We know he can play centre back. Yeah. But I just don't know. Playing three at the back, it never fucking works. And the issue is now I've not read the post match comments from David Moyes. He's going to be incredibly happy with that. He is. He's going to feel like job done. And to a degree, but come on. I mean, we're playing against a fucking shit team now, and absolutely they were poor. They're not just poor on paper; they were actually poor in practice as well. And I know that we were vulnerable when they was attacking. But like I say, if you look at it. What was bad about our defending was the fucking confusion and the chaos. Those three players at the back there, they're not only have you got two makeshift centre backs, they're playing in a weird fucking system. Kehrer don't know what he's doing all of a sudden. He's in the middle and he's got these two blokes either side of him that he ain't played with in that type of scenario before. Just play two at the back but
it's not the modern way, is it? Teams don't do it, but we've been calling for it. It's not the modern way. It's the same as it. The same as it. It's not modern to play 2 up front. It annoys me as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with all this tradition crap. But
No,
people are scared. People are scared. I mean, people call Moyes a dinosaur and all that, but it's almost like they're scared to do the traditional formations that we grew up with because they don't want to be called a dinosaur. But I'd rather them do that. Like you say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because when you have a makeshift team, like I'm saying, you have to protect them. I agree with you. If you didn't have that if you didn't have the system that they weren't used to, you probably wouldn't have to worry about them so much.
No. It is bizarre. What's this? So we got
Norman's picking up on what I said. I didn't mean we had more possession in the first half. I mean, as the game overall, we did have more possession, more shots. Not the first 20 minutes or first half. As the game overall. Look, Michael says it here for me. Afternoon, gents, fuming here. Southampton are my nemesis. That's how I feel about Southampton, right? I'm not condoning the setup or the performance or anything like that. But I'm not saying the point is good enough. But look, we would
if we play like that against Liverpool, not because of the makeshift defence, because that had fuck all to do really with anything. I think they're toothless, Southampton. I think we almost played into their hands with the way that we set up. If we play like that against Liverpool with that formation with them players, it's going to be embarrassing because I mean that as well. It will be embarrassing because that wasn't. I don't know what that was.
I do think this is a fantastic point from Ballon. You know, I said it when Kehrer first came into the team and he had some not bad performances at centre-back. I said from the outset, I don't think he's a centre-back in the Premier League and he isn't for Germany. And I thought he looked all at sea today playing as the main centre-back.
We had Ogbonna on the bench. We got Rice in midfield who can be a centre-back. So there are pieces.
Ogbonna can't play Premier League.
No, but you've got Rice. You've got Rice there. You've got Downs on the bench. There's different things he could have fucking done. There are. There's different things he could have done. And this to me that was almost lazy today. I think it was almost it was. I didn't see the team sheet when it was released because I was busy. But then when I got back and I was trying to work out the way we was playing, I pulled up the team sheet and I thought, what the fuck? What's going on here? Obviously, I understand Zuma and Dawson are both injured, and that is a problem. But even when Zuma and Dawson are in the team, you still got them shielded by Rice and fucking Soucek. He still has 2 lines of defence, which is what he does.
You think we were playing for the draw from the offset?
100%. We was playing for the draw. He's done it all. He does it all the time. Respect the point. And you saw that the minute we scored, it was almost brakes on. Southampton were like, no, fuck this, because Hasenhüttl needs the points needs a result to save his job. And he pulled on four players. He went for the game. We did not do that.
West Ham Voice says, not sure I know what game you were watching, but we certainly didn't play for the point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, don't worry about him. Yeah, go on. Next one.
Mandy G says, how many times has Moyes played Benny, Paqueta and Scamacca together in the starting 11?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Mandy. I don't think that he necessarily... I don't think you're going to see that very often. I mean, no. we saw it today. There was some nice interplay between... Because I think Paqueta potentially needs someone like Benny as well, to bring the best out in him. You know, there was one little passage of play on the left-hand side between Cresswell, Benny and Paqueta, and it resulted in Paqueta sort of slipping the ball through to no one in the end. But it was encouraging. That's the type of thing that, I don't know.
Just quickly, Eric John here. It was a mistake to play Dawson Thursday. He only came on because Ogbonna got injured, didn't he? He wasn't planning to play him. So, you know, we can pick the bones out of Moyes' selections till the cows come home. But like I said to you, Nick, Soufal only played today because of the injuries. He wouldn't have played today. He was dropped against Wolves. He played the whole game in Europe. He would not have played today. I know you say there's other options and ways of doing things. I'm not disagreeing there. But he's only in the team today purely because of the injuries we had.
Yeah. No, no.
So, I'm not so sure we went and played for the draw. I think we sat off them a bit. We went for it a bit. As soon as we got the goal, it looked like we sat off again. I get what you're saying, but in the same breath, Southampton are a team full of professionals. Their managers on the sideline as well. Yeah. They might suddenly change their ethos and think we need to win this game. This is a must-win game. It's difficult. Look, football's not as easy as we say it is when we're watching from the outset. That's all I'd say. But the one thing I did disagree with was taking Paqueta off as maybe not as well as he. Look, maybe he didn't play as well as he has been, but with a player like that, I think you need to leave him on the pitch. Personally, I would have brought on Antonio a lot earlier and played him on the pitch with Scamacca. I'm not even saying two up front because Antonio would have probably drifted out to the wide anyway. I don't think Bowen had a great game. I think Bowen should have come off personally.
He was poor as well. There was a lot of poor performances in there. Souček was just anonymous again. He was just, I mean, what the fuck does he do? Someone tell me what he does to keep Downs, a bloke who's had definitely two, but potentially three consecutive man of the match performances in a row out of our starting 11. Someone explain to me what he does to do that. I don't get it, because straight away you put Downs in there. You've got someone who can keep the ball, who can turn it over, who can pass it, who will shield, and who will allow Declan Rice to drive up the field and do what he did today. And that was a good finish from Rice today, wasn't it? It was a beautiful finish.
It was a great finish. It was a great finish. It was, the funny thing with Rice is he don't shoot a lot because often when he does, it's a terrible shot.
I know.
But that hopefully gives him a little bit of confidence because he does get in positions to hit him, from 20, 25, 30 yards quite often, but he doesn't seem keen on pulling the trigger often.
Well, he's touted. I think you've heard it before as well. He's touted by like Moyes and the team to have one of the best strikes in the whole squad.
Yeah. We just don't see it in real time, do we?
I know.
It's become a little bit of a laugh. I mean, I find it quite funny when he does shoot and he has a shot.
Almost Antonio-esque sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's probably the one side of his game that needs work on is his goals ratio. But he does play. Look, he does play fairly deep. So he does. I suppose you can. I suppose you have to give him that credit for that. He does play very deep.
Should we see if we can? Should we see if we can dial Gary in? Go on, carry on going through the comments, mate. Carry on. Just
So John McFadden says, I think if we cannot win this game today based on the fact that they are a physical side, then Antonio had to come on from half time. Yeah, I think Antonio should have been called on early. I think 87 minutes is almost, it doesn't give anyone time to get into the game, does it? So
no.
Locatelli in at January, Souček replacement. Yes, I don't disagree with buying someone like Locatelli in January. Would be a great purchase, but
we've got one on the bench.
I think we've already got someone there now who could do a better job, and that's Downs for me.
I know.
So why are we waiting until January? Joe Russell says Soufal out, new tea lady in.
Hang on, I've just got Gary on the. Hello,
phone?
Gary. Can you hear me?
Oh. Okay, I can't hear him, Nick. Oh, he's mute. He's muted us. That means he's talking to his brother. Yeah, this would be nice. Maybe he made the changes with Wednesday in mind. Maybe. Yeah, it's a good point.
No, he couldn't get a signal. I'll wait for him to call me back. He's in the brood.
Yeah, Nick, this is what I said to you. 25 shots, 14 corners, 60% possession away from home ain't exactly playing for the draw. But Emerson ahead of Benny is a head scratcher for me. What do you take of that? Because I mentioned the stats earlier on.
Yeah, but there was a lot of listen. There was a lot of shots from distance today. Yeah. There was a lot of fucking. There was an awful lot of pinging shots in. But I don't know. What's this? Souček is good at pointing. It's very important, Nick. He's really good at pointing. You got over there. Yeah,
Belundi Olsen, Souček is there to defend and for set pieces. Yeah, but it's a waste of a position.
Mate, that is not good enough. We've got.
Ballon. I'm not sure if Ballon means that tongue in cheek or something, but
no. I'm not sure he does. But honestly, fuck. You can't add. That's the most important position in the pitch, central midfield. If you need somebody in the team to have height to defend corners and set pieces, then we've got a forward that can do that. And do you know what I mean? It would normally be your centre backs, but you don't basically just give up that position there, which is where the heart of your fucking team, which is where all the creativity and everything should come from. You don't do that. No, I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I know that's what Moyes used him for. He said it in a post-match press conference.
This is the argument that people have about Downs. Downs has done well
nonsense.
Against conference.
This is an example of people that will not question Moyes no matter what he does.
I don't think that's questioning Moyes. That's not questioning Moyes. That's not questioning Moyes.
No, but that's what Gary said.
That's questioning whether Downs can do it in the Premier League.
Yeah, but why is he doing that? Because Moyes doesn't think he can do it in the Premiership because he ain't playing him.
Premier League, not ship.
In the Premier League, but that's why.
Yeah, but listen, what I'm saying is, Ballon, I respect your opinion, but people keep saying he can't do it in the Premier League. He's only doing it against.
If Moyes ain't playing him, he can't be any good.
How are we ever going to know? It's the same as saying Crowell was crap. We don't know. We never saw Crowell. I'd like to think he was because Moyes never gave him a sniff. But with if Souček is playing as bad as we all know he's playing, right? And I'm not here to just single out Souček because I've been, praising him enough over the time he's been with us. But for me now, he needs to be taken out the firing line somewhat from his own self and the fans. And Downs cannot do any worse a job, in my opinion.
Is it getting boring now?
Yeah,
the Souček argument.
Boring. Yeah,
because it's beyond head scratching, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Look, you know, I like Moyes. You know me and you have a difference of opinion over it. But the one thing he does do, which grates me, and I said it last season with Antonio, he leaves players out to dry. The problem with that is that it turns fans against the player sooner rather than later. And we know how much stick Antonio got last season. The difference is now is that when Antonio was out of form, we didn't really have much option. We didn't really have an option to change it, right? We didn't. People say you could have put Bowen up front and all that, but Bowen was playing exceptionally on the wing, right? The difference is with Souček, we have a kid who is ready and available to step in there. Souček is not playing well and hasn't done for a while. You're telling me that Downs couldn't do... Would he do as bad a job as Souček? Could he do a worse thing than Souček?
No.
Could look, Connor Coventry, I think, could do a better job at the minute. And that's 100%. That's no disrespect to him. But in the grand scheme of things, Downs is higher up the pecking order than Coventry.
Could Pablo Fornals do a worse job than Souček in that position?
Probably not.
No.
And look,
it makes zero sense.
Now we are calling for Antonio to come on. Yeah. But we want to see Antonio with Scamacca, Mike, whether it's as a two or just on the pitch at the same time. We're not saying we wanted Scamacca replaced, Mike. No. He's not saying that. He's saying how things change.
Oh,
I was talking about Antonio and the stick he was getting.
Yeah.
It's a good point here from Mark, I suppose, if you like. Can't have competition for places when there are guaranteed starters in the team. It's not a bad point.
No, I know. What we'll do, John, we'll go through all these comments and then we will do a player ratings because Gary doesn't know what time he's going to get back. So what we'll do is we'll effectively migrate tonight's show into this one. So we'll quickly whiz through the player ratings as well.
All right, mate. Yeah.
I'm going to sort out the layout and then I'll put it up.
David Everett says we shouldn't be playing with two defensive midfielders, not with the players we have. The thing is, in that aspect of things, if you brought in Downs for Souček, then it would probably allow Rice to be more forward thinking as well.
Yes, it would.
So Downs could.
Yeah.
So because I think that I know Souček in the scoring charts has scored more than Rice overall, but that was predominantly back a year or so ago. Hasn't done for a while. If Downs came in, then Rice could be more forward thinking, in my opinion. What's this one here? Moyes isn't the greatest of managers. We all have to accept that. No one said he was, but he's done a good job with the time he's been here. But sometimes he needs to tweak things. I don't disagree with that. John says, for me, it depends on the game. Today it was there to win, and we should have brought Downs on with 30 minutes to go. But that's another thing, John, is that look, I don't like bashing my own players. I'm not that sort of fan. But Souček was poor again today, but got another 90 minutes. I mean, it just baffles me. It really doesn't make any sense. And I for the life of me, I can't work out why. I can't work out why. It makes no sense. And if it is what Ballon is saying, which I know it is, which we all know is to be the case, is because David Moyes sees value in height. That's basically it. Well, it doesn't matter who the manager is. You will never please everyone. No, you won't. You won't please everyone. Correct. Hammerhead says sell Souček while his stock is reasonably high.
Well, I don't know if it is high at the minute.
Michael says, Michael, who lives in Pompey, so he hates Southampton more than most. Yes, as I said in the group, Facebook, we need to put them on together. Bowen should have come off. Yeah, agree. I think it might have been your comment that I agreed with, actually. Richard Dodsey. Hello, Dodsey.
Hello, Dodsey.
Dodsey, see.
Yeah, he should have come off. He should have. Well, I think that's what you were saying, John, wasn't it? You were saying that. Yeah.
The thing is, it was the first time. It was the first time that he had the opportunity, not the first time, but he had the opportunity to bring on Antonio a lot earlier and play them together. I'm not saying as a two, but just have them on the bloody pitch together. Because as I've said a million times before, and I'm sick of saying it, no defence would want to see Skamaka and Antonio on the pitch at the same time. You know, you don't want to have to deal with two huge beasts. But, you know, he didn't do like for like. He actually brought Antonio on for Paqueta when he should have, you know, and I thought, oh, that's all right.
I know.
And then he took Lanzini on for Skamaka anyway, so it was like for like.
I know.
Even that wasn't like for like, so it was quite frustrating. What's this one from Eastside? Should have been sacked after the Brighton loss. Eastside loves Moyes.
Yeah, but look, I can understand why people have got a problem with him. I can.
But let's look at the bigger picture. Don't matter what you say, whether they're there for the taking. We've had 4 wins, okay. Yeah. Conference are 2 of them. We haven't lost today. The thing that we used to be as a team. We used to be the team that everyone wanted to play who was on a bad run. A team that haven't won all season. They play West Ham, they win. A striker that hasn't scored for 20 games. He plays against West Ham, he scores.
Yeah, good point.
So that's the only thing I'd say about that. I know, look, on the grand scheme of things, we could have took the game to them more. But, and it's not being negative or being accepting of whatever. But it's another point, right? It's another point. Yeah. That's all I'd say.
What we're gonna do once we've just whizzed through these comments, we're gonna do the player ratings. Then what we'll do, we'll take a few calls. If you're phone in. If it doesn't matter what it is, if you're Moyes out and you got the and you want to vent, phone in. Also, if you've got an argument to counter, if you disagree with us, phone in. Like just give us your take on it. I'll put the number up in a bit once we've gone through the
But only phone up if you agree with me. Don't phone up if you agree with me. Nick always seems to get people phone up and agreeing with him. What's this say? Don't blame Bowen. Having Soufal behind him didn't help. You know what? That is actually a good point because since, let's be honest, Bowen's been good the last couple of games when Soufal ain't been playing.
When he ain't been playing. I know.
It's a good point. It is a good point.
It
is a good point. Didn't think of that. Eastside don't make many good points, but I'll give him that one. Only joking. Ballon d'Orson says Soucek wouldn't be playing if he was 5 foot nothing.
Mate, he'd be in the Vauxhall Conference if he was 5 foot nothing. Let's face it.
Night on the Tile says even replacing Soufal with Antonio would have been better. Soufal can't cross for shit.
I agree.
What has happened to his crossing? He was good at it, wasn't he? Or was it just my imagination?
I've never rated Soufal. I haven't. I've never rated him. I used to.
Even
I liked.
When he was doing well.
No, I never have, mate. Yeah. Same with Soucek. I've always felt the same about the pair of them. I think they were great players. I liked them when they came in, and I think that I loved their effort, and that was refreshing. But well, you know that I've always had a problem with their technical ability from an early stage.
I had to mute myself there. I was just coughing quite a bit. Sorry.
No, calling me names.
Who's this one? New comment from someone.
Muddy Boots.
Why was Randolph on the bench? Having 3 keepers on the bench.
Here's a question for you. Could Randolph be any worse at right back than Soufal?
Don't be an Alexander Burke, Nick.
Oh, God.
Boom, boom. Victor. Hello, Victor. Good afternoon. Victor says, Soucek and Soufal were good signings at the time when we were struggling, but we've moved on and they're not the type of players to move us to the next level.
No, that's entirely right.
Downs, on average, can win 4 ground duels a game, and Soucek, if he's lucky, will win 1 ground duel, but 2 aerial duels. Bloody hell, he's done a lot of statistics. And Moyes sees that as better on the ground, sees that as better. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. So Moyes, because we do play a direct style. We do play a direct style. Moyes has, and also he's still hung up on the set piece thing as well, because we used to, at one point, we scored a load of goals from set pieces. He still sees Soucek as that goal threat and as that sort of defensive threat. That's it. That is literally, it's basically if we're attacking if we're defending a corner or attacking a corner, that is what I believe that Thomas Soucek is in that team for. Personally.
No, I know you've said it before, but I think it's becoming ridiculous now.
I know.
Does Soucek come up high in the running stats, blocking, heading, defending? We know he can't pass. We'd love to see it. Well, yeah, that was always the argument, wasn't it? The argument was that he always came top of the running stats. But I think this season, wasn't it? As a team this season, we start off
down the bottom. We was down the bottom, weren't we? I don't know where we are now. I think the effort's definitely increased.
Yeah, but Soucek was always renowned for his running ability. But look, he's not. We haven't bought him to be the next Mo Farah, have we?
He's like the Czech Forrest Gump, isn't he? He just keeps on running.
I just think now that look, I know people are going to go. I'm sick of hearing the thing about it's only the Conference League. Downs, even if you start him and he's not playing well, bring him off at half time. I'm all for that as well. But I'm sure he won't do anything as bad or won't play as bad as Soucek. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Kent Hammers, who went to the game today. I'm in the car on the way back. Wasteful today. Should have won. I've got to give makeshift backline credit. We should have won today.
I don't know. We had chances. Yeah, we definitely had
we did
chances.
have more shots. I know you had it from long distance and all that, but
we had chances.
Yeah, we did have chances, but we weren't clinical today. Look, Bowen wasn't great. Soucek was, mate.
Yeah,
Soucek was bad today. Soucek has been caught out this year.
He has been, mate, big time.
Someone else says it that Bowen playing with Soufal is the problem. And this is one thing I have to agree with Michael. We were good from set pieces.
We're the shit now. Delivery and all.
Well, to me, it's the delivery because how many times do we hit the first man? It's so bloody annoying. Annoying.
Yeah.
When are we going to show? When are we going to give 90 minutes effort this season? Well, I'm sure they was giving effort.
It's not effort, right? It's very, very clear that we are set up. We had this conversation on the watch along. It's so clear now that we are set up to be cautious at the start because we had fuck all about us in that first half. And then what happened? He sent out the same 11 players in the second half. We look completely different because they had different instructions. We was getting after Southampton. We was going after them. The instruction at the start is always be cagey, be cautious, don't let him in. So basically, you are, by default, he ain't saying that, but it's inviting them on. That is what we fucking do in every game.
I think we are missing a big point here, though. I just remembered. What was their goal all about? His foot was over the line, wasn't it?
Well, his heel was on the line. I mean, I don't know what the rule is there.
Well, I always thought your feet had to be behind the line.
That's what I thought.
Not a part of your foot.
But... Yeah, but on the commentary that I was listening to, there was a comment on there to say that it's almost similar to a goal over the line. If your foot is touching the line, then you're okay. I didn't realise that was because they would have looked at it on VAR, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, they did apparently. My stream was shit. They didn't have no English commentary.
And that's for Apache, mate. I'd never make it onto the pitch at the London Stadium.
What's that?
Where he says, I have visions of Nick running onto the pitch at the London Stadium and asking the fourth official to sub him on.
Nick, just so you know, Nick would not be running. He'd be doing a light jog as not to break sweat. Soucek should play when we are not expected to win. I would consider Downs in matches like today, but with a makeshift defence today, I can understand why Soucek plays today. So he plays every fucking game, Ballon. He does.
Every game.
Yeah, I can see what Ballon's sort of getting at, but like you say, he plays every minute of every game almost. So it doesn't matter whether it's
he's not tactical. To suggest it's tactical is just it's bullshit. To be quite honest, because it ain't.
John McFadden says we don't need Soucek. Drop him for 4 games. I don't look. He's a player. He's still a West Ham player, obviously, right? I don't want to slag the geezer off, but I think Downs needs to come in. But this is going to happen. It ain't going to happen against. Who we got next, man?
Liverpool.
It ain't going to happen against Liverpool.
But John, as you've said, this is going to happen. He's going to end up fucking hated by the fan base if this carries on.
Well, yeah,
he will be. He'll be hated.
I'm not being horrible. I'm not picking you out, but you know you're not his number one fan, and there's a lot of people like you.
Yeah,
I like Soucek, but I know on form he needs to be out the team.
I like him as a man. He's a lovely man. I'd love to have a cup of tea with him. But on a fucking football pitch, no.
No, he needs to come out of the firing line. He's just becoming... It's becoming a little bit of a running joke. You know, you like said it's getting boring and all that.
It is getting boring.
It's almost like someone's doing a hidden camera sort of sketch show.
It's like he's taking the piss. Or Soucek literally has got something on him. You know, Moyes has touched him in the showers or something like that, and no one knows about it. I don't know.
We should have won today. We did not play to our strengths. 15 minutes is not enough. I do agree. We never come out of the blocks flying. Even against Fulham, we started poorly.
I don't get it. I honestly, I'll never understand it. It drives me fucking insane. And the thing is, he's done half the job well now this year. He's got all these players in. He's got all of these players in, and I I don't even think we need like a technical fucking overhaul revolution. Basically, I think I almost feel like he's not overthinking it. I feel like he's almost holding it back because he is so cautious. I don't think he can move away from that. We should be in some games against Southampton, against Fulham. West Ham should be able to put 11 men on the pitch where David Moyes says, "Go out there and fucking beat them. You're better than them. Go out there, beat them. Set them up to beat them. Don't set them up to basically go, be careful, be cagey. You got to respect. I'm not saying gun ho. I'm not saying do what Bournemouth have done in a few games, but set us up sensibly. At least set us up to attack him in the way that we went out in that second half, because the second half game plan is different to the first half game plan.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating when it, like, you know, I always feel like it sometimes takes us to concede a goal for us to change our mindset, and that for me is a little bit like
I almost think we'd be better off just conceding. We'd be better off scoring an own goal in the first 5 minutes, because at least then we'd be in for a good game. It's fucking ridiculous, mate.
I can see Nick more of a Jan Mulby type of player. Yeah, I saw this. Did you see Luca erupt at Soufal in the first half and not delivering a cross?
Yeah.
I noticed that. I know Nick would say yes to this. Is it time to sell Soucek? Nick thinks yes. I don't. I just think he needs to be taken out of the firing line, like I said.
Give him away in a raffle, whatever. I don't care. Just honestly,
I'm
bored with it.
Nick, a light jog. Do you mean a quick walk?
Quick jiggle.
Victor Ved, if we had signed Van Anken from Bruges, would that have been the end of Soucek? Van Anken, same type of player, better technical.
I think it would have been, but again, that wouldn't have been a long-term replacement. He's 30, wasn't he? 31, something like that, or was he 29?
Yeah, he ain't got long in him either, is he?
No.
Moyes is becoming the weak link. I'm not going to agree with that at the minute. I think Moyes already knows that he has the backing of the board. So
I do agree, Mark Anderson.
What?
I said I agree with Mark.
What? He's the weak link.
Yes,
we did just have 4 wins in a row though. Don't matter who's against. We did.
Yeah, I know. Let's include fucking Anderlecht.
Yeah, but Nick, this is what makes me laugh about like people. If we would have lost to them, it would have been how can we lose to them? Like if we beat them, it's still like so what? So it's a little bit like you can only beat what's in front of you, mate. So
I know.
Sorry,
unless they're named Southampton, right? Unless they're named Southampton.
Well, we lost to them last year when we was doing well. We lost to them in the cup. We went down there, remember?
I know. All right. Well, look, let's get onto the player ratings anyway. Let's do this. Right, Fabianski. What did you think of Fabianski today, John?
It was all right.
Let us know what your ratings are, people.
Yeah, Fabs was all right. I mean, Fabs was okay. Just average for me. His usual self, really.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he was poor. I'd say 6.
Could he have done any better with a goal, or did the deflection take it away from him?
You'll probably say that he could have done better, and Areola would have definitely saved it.
I do think he made a fabulous save in the second half, a double save, which redeemed him completely, because he got down low and then he got up and he made the double save.
I actually forgot about that, so you just said it.
Yeah.
But Hammerhead says 6 for Fabs, too slow to react for the goal, but then you did bring up the double save. I'd say 7.
Yeah, I think 7. I think 7's fair.
7, yeah.
Because that was a fucking good save, to be fair.
It was, yeah. He did okay. He didn't do anything bad, like, you know what I mean? I don't think. I know you think the goal he could have done better, but I don't, if I'm honest. But
no, Kera, I'm going to probably say. I think he was poor, but I don't think it. Listen, I don't think that any of these guys were helped by that formation. I think
you can't blame the formation. You're judging them on them.
I'm not going to. I'm going to judge him on his game. I'm going to judge him on the game. But I'm going to say I don't think any of these back three, of which Cresswell was probably likely the best out of all of them, but he was getting forward a lot. I don't think that helped any of them. But he was poor. He was shit as a result of it. That they kind of. Yeah, I thought it was horrible. But for me, I probably would go, as a lot of people saying, 5s and 6s. I'm going to go 5. I think it was a poor game. I don't think he played well.
Yeah, but
I don't think he played well.
Okay, but are you making that judgment because you're saying that he don't like the formation that Moyes picked?
I'm basing it on his performance, but I think his performance wasn't helped by the
formation.
formation. No,
Yeah.
Right, John.
Michael said he did make one great tackle. Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
did,
I know, but
did.
yeah, there was a
Were
few
we on
mistakes in there and all. You're on Johnson, mate.
Look, Johnson's not been back from injury long. No, I don't know. I'd say 6. I don't think he was below average for him. I think he had an okay game.
He's a makeshift centre back as well, isn't he?
He is makeshift. He's only just come back from injury. Yes, I'm only going to mark him on today, but I'd say 6.
That's fine. Cresswell, I thought was probably. I thought he was okay defensively. Funny enough, although there was some confusion at times between Cresswell and Kehrer. But I thought Cresswell was okay getting forward. There was some, especially in the second half. Cresswell, because he's a bit of a technical player. I think he was good with Benny and Rice. I don't necessarily think he was that great with Emerson in the first half, but I think Cresswell was better. Funny enough, when Benny came on. So I don't know if I'll go much more than a 6, but
he definitely Cresswell. Yeah, we on Cresswell.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. Or was he above average? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think any of them were brilliant at the back, but
no. But I think he was the best. Would you say? I think he was the best of the 3. I've got to be honest. I think he contributed more. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Ooh, wow.
I know.
Maybe when Benny
that's above average.
When he got a bit better because Benny was helping him out a bit more when they're playing technically together. But yeah, good point here from Brennan. His corners were shocking again.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think 7's a bit high, but it's up to you.
Well, mate, right, go on. You can have Soufal. There you go.
Soufal was poor. When we were speaking before we came on, you said about when there was like a couple of minutes left in the first half, and he just like he just sort of decapitated the geezer and killed the game off in the first half.
He just killed the half. We was pressing for a goal, and he was shit.
It's quite funny. You know what's quite surreal in a funny way? Obviously, Soufal and Soucek are big mates on and off the pitch, right? And internationally as well.
Yeah.
How have they both? They've both come in together and been brilliant together, and they've both gone down in form at the same time as well. It's almost like they're bloody conjoined twins.
I just think that. Well, I wouldn't even say this because I don't believe the style has changed. I don't think the style's changed at all. I don't think the style's changed.
What a coincidence for them both to go so poor so quickly at the same time. Do you know what I mean? I can't work it out.
I think it could be because you know what Soucek really struggles with. Soufal struggles with it as well. Soucek, when he's on the, if he's got people close to him and tight to him, and heaven forbid he receives the ball to feet, he panics like fuck. He doesn't know what to do. Soufal's similar. They're no good when they're pressured. So I think all it is, I just think they've been sussed out. I think they've been sussed out as weaknesses. The opposition know how to affect him. But what score are you going to give him, mate? I know what I'd give him. If Kehrer got a 5.
Don't try and twist me arm because I've already looked at that and thought, well, yeah, but you scored Kehrer, not me. I'd say 4.
Yeah, he was shit. I think that's fair. You just,
a lot of people in the chat are giving him lower than 4s. Someone give him a 1 just for turning up.
What's that?
Someone went 1 for Soufal just for turning up. What's this quickly say? Soufal 4, all the right moves, no end product, and so slow. Ashby needs to be put in as our right back.
Yeah, I know. Emerson didn't do anything wrong, but didn't really do much right. There was a lot of running. I haven't really got too much to say about him. I don't really think he did too much. He wasn't as good a wing back as I was hoping he was going to be. Not at all. I think from an attacking perspective, his crossing weren't great. No. I don't think his crossing was good at all. I think the supply was bad. I'm probably going to go below average for him.
He's a funny player because I've never yet. I know he's only been with us a little while, but already I can see that he's going to be, I'd imagine, quite an inconsistent player.
Yeah, he's going to be.
He's going to be one of them players, but for that money that we paid for him, which relatively speaking is quite a minimal amount.
It was a one signing of that window, which when you look at it was probably a little bit of a head scratcher. It's probably just
no,
one.
I can't say you can say that because look, you can't say that because he's established as a player. He's of a good
18
age.
million is a lot of money though for a 28-year-old. 18 million for a 28-year-old who ain't going to get no
money,
better.
Nick. It's peanuts. He's an Italian international, Nick.
No, but
18 million is nothing, mate.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think there was better out there. Look, listen, the window was great, and I think that is good. I think our window was brilliant. I'm just saying, I think if there is a player that was a bit of a head scratcher out of all of them, for me, it probably is Emerson.
Okay,
that's all it is.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah,
Souček, John, I'm going to let you have the check boys today. I'm fed up bashing them. I'll just do donkey distribution.
I've defended him a lot, and on. He's just not getting any better. He's not.
No.
He's not having a good game, bad game. It's just constant bad games for me now. Too regular.
He did nothing today.
He did nothing, mate. And when you see, I don't want to keep going on about Downs, but when you see Downs play, Downs demands the ball. He puts his hand down and goes, "Give me the ball." He points to where he wants the ball. Souček does a lot of pointing, but I don't think he's the sort of player who wants the ball. I think he shies away from the ball. He doesn't want the ball. Whether that's a confidence thing, he knows he's not good enough, his ability, I genuinely don't know what it is. But to me, it's a shame what's happening because he's damaging the good work he did for the club. You could say Moyes is damaging the good work.
I think Moyes is damaging it, and this is where I feel sorry for the player because look, the player wants to play. That's natural. All players want to play, but it's the manager's job to protect him as well. He ain't being protected. His legacy that he had when he won fucking Hammer of the Year. If this carries on all season, he'll be universally hated, I think, as a player, not as a person, as a player. Everyone will only remember him as a fucking donkey.
I think if
this carries on.
This message from Andy, to me, sums it up. Every time Souček gets the ball, he slows it down. He slows, he goes backwards, sideways. Now, there's nothing wrong with going backwards and sideways. There's nothing wrong with that at the right time. But sometimes I feel like even when he's facing the right way, he does a 360 turn and comes back again.
I know.
And that's the frustrating thing. There's no fluidity with him anymore. There's no fluid. And anyone tells me that Downs has only done it in the Europa League, the Conference League, mate, he can do far better than
if anybody that watches West Ham can tell us that Downs couldn't do as good a job as Souček, then I'm sorry. You're deluded. There is no way. As you said, John, Coventry would be a better option.
I wouldn't want Coventry in the team, but I'm saying what I'm alluding to is that there's players there that would not do any worse a job. So why not give them a go? Why not have a look at them in the Premier League?
Downs, Fornals or Coventry would be better options than Souček.
I don't know about Coventry. I was probably being a bit facetious, but you know what I was trying to. You know what I was alluding to. Dougie Montana disagrees with us. He says we stopped them from playing. Souček played a big part in that.
Did he? How many interceptions did he make? Honestly, they played the ball around him.
I ain't got the stats. Paul Chambers says Souček is okay as a stopper, but he doesn't see himself as just that. He doesn't want to play. See, this is interesting because to me, Downs is a stopper.
That's a good point.
It's a good point. Yeah. But Downs is a stopper that can do the other side of things. Also, Rice is a stopper and he can do the other side of things. So as much as you're just a stopper, you still have to have the progressive side of the game to some extent, no?
Yeah, you do.
What's this? Oh, hello. What's this one say? Dougie says, Dougie Montana, watch the game again. We dominated. I do think we had a lot of the ball. I do think we had a lot of shots. I said that. But whatever, we didn't play well as an overall team.
We did not play well.
The deluded West Ham fans would say he's Hammer of the Year, but where is that performance for that title? Get Downs in ASAP. Look, Downs ain't going to play against Liverpool, I don't think. Do you? I don't think he'll bring him in against Liverpool. But I do think
you're joking, and yeah, of course we're not going to see Downs start in the Premier League this side of Christmas.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But John Souček, give us your score anyway. Stop shying away from it. Come on.
4.
Yeah, I agree.
You can have Rice.
Okay. Oh, why aren't my thing working?
Excuse me.
I thought Rice was the best player in the midfield stay. I thought Rice did well. I think he was trying to cover it defensively. He was constantly screaming at Kehrer. At times, he was deeper than Kehrer. He was looking behind him. Kehrer was pushing forward. He was dropping back, and he was constantly barking at Kehrer. He had that fucking bloke next to him in midfield. He's trying to cover for him. And I don't think Paqueta necessarily had the best game today. No. So we almost, in a sense, I think Rice had his hands full, and I think the quality was there. And with his goal, I'm going to give him an 8. For me, I think he was. I think that was. If you look at the context of the situation with what he was playing with, for me, he gets an 8. You know, he also got the goal as well.
Yeah, I think in effect he was doing 2.5-man job.
He fucking was as well.
In effect, I mean, Paqueta wasn't brilliant like you say. No. Soucek was dreadful, so he was doing Soucek's job and half of Paqueta's job. So I think and the goal topped it off. So
and Paqueta, go on, John. Let us know what you think about him.
Just flattered to deceive today a little bit. Not a lot of end product. Give the ball away a fair bit, I think.
Yeah.
Was he below average?
Probably. I would say below average. I think he got better when Benny came on. Personally.
He did, but
I don't know. It's your score, mate. I shouldn't interfere. It's your score.
No. I'd say, all right, I'll give him an average score. I'll say 6. He did get better when Benny came on. Like you said, probably playing those sort of players together might help each other, but I can't see Moyes doing it too often, if I'm honest with you. No. I'll give Paqueta a 6.
That is fine. Right. I'll go Scamacca. I think straight off the bat, I think he was doing a brilliant job up there. I don't think Bowen was really helping much. He was missing a finish. I think he had a few chances today, but he was also sort of creating. He was linking play. I think he was a standout player from the first half. Scamacca, certainly the half that I saw, and then going into the second half, he played really, really well. If he'd have got a goal, I'd have marked him up and given him an 8. But I think because he didn't score, I think a 7 is fair. He was definitely above average. He put in a good shift, I thought, Scamacca.
He did work hard. He did a lot of opportunity. Like I think you said, he created a lot out of his own doing today.
Yeah.
Very much like Antonio would have done a year, 18 months ago. Sort of something out of nothing. And that improvised finish, or where he tried to finish it with his knee,
would have been brilliant.
It would have been brilliant, really. It's a very unusual thing to try and do, but he very nearly pulled it off. So don't disagree. Disagree.
I think most people are saying 6s, 7s, and 8s, aren't they, for him?
Yeah, he's getting quite high scores in general. Yeah, 7s.
Yeah, look, he was good. He was good, but he had a few chances. I think he's got goals in him. I don't think he'll be happy with that. I think he will feel like he should have scored. Right, John Bowen.
Back to what he was a couple of games ago. Really, very poor corners, poor in general. People can say, but he had to worry about Soufal behind him or whatever. But
I think he was bad, wasn't he?
Who?
Bowen was bad.
He was. That's what I'm saying. But people will say, but he's got Soufal alongside him. That's why he's poor again. I get that mindset or that theory, but he set the bar so high last season.
Yeah.
To himself, getting into the England squad and all that, Bowden or trying to get into the World Cup squad this year. He just had no end product today. Poor corners, poor delivery, poor service. As Paul Chambers in the chat says here, hit the nail on the head. Just no cutting edge today. No. So I'd give him a 5.
Yeah, no, he was poor, incredibly poor. To be honest, I mean, he wasn't as damaging to the team as the likes of Soucek and Soufal, because that's the thing. That's kind of our scorer player. Generally, a player will start with a 6.
Yeah, it's average. That's the average, isn't it? Yeah.
They start with a 6. If they play well, it goes up. If they play bad, it goes down. Soucek and Soufal, I think, are damaging to the team. Did you? I mean, for instance, did you see the second half chance where they fucking flew through, where Soufal put a tackle in on the halfway line, completely missed it, and then it's just damaging to the team.
Mm.
And that's kind of where your score just goes down further. I don't think Bowen's damaging. He can't really be damaging in that position. But
no, he's not damaging the team, but he's damaging his own reputation. That's the problem.
He is.
But
what we'll do, we'll leave Benny till last. I think Lanzini and Antonio had no time at all, did they?
You're just going to give them, what are you going to give them? 3 minutes, 5 minutes?
Sixes. Just like I said, you start with an average, didn't you? For me,
always, yeah. That's how you score them. You start with an average and see
how their game goes. They didn't really affect the game.
Why does Michael Brendan not get this? Why does Brendan not get it? On a mark from 10, surely 5 is average.
No, look at our matrix. I've laid it out for you. We might do things. It's there. The scoring away we do. It's there.
I mean, I know he left score about 40 years ago because he's a granddad and all that, but ain't that hard, is it?
Go on, mate. You can have Benny. Take Benny.
Benny, I said it after the European game, right?
Yeah.
If we went back about 6 to 8 months, Benny would have been sulking. Benny would have been, when he's getting the opportunity, would have been sulking, wouldn't have been on it a little bit. But with him now, I see a change in his mentality. Yep. I feel like he's embracing every opportunity he's getting and trying to play his way into the starting 11, right? Yep. And that's what I like about him. He came on today and in some ways he sort of he did make a difference. He made a huge difference. He was the difference. He was the difference, yeah. He was forward thinking, he was proactive, he was taking the ball to the Southampton back line. He claimed, that would be classed as an assist that he rolled into Rice.
Yeah,
you could argue whether it is or not, but it's a great finish. But he was only on the pitch half an hour, and we're talking about him like he played the old 90. And that, to me, that embodies somebody who mentally, psychologically, is up for this now. He's thinking, you know what? I want to be here. I want to prove my worth. And don't matter how many minutes I get on the pitch. When I'm on the pitch, whether I start in Conference League or not, I'm going to show you what I've got. And I think he's proving that his consistency now, because his mindset's better, I think his consistency is better. Yeah. And he's positive. And that's,
and you know what? You could really justify him dropping his head a little bit because he started the season really well and he was probably dropped unfairly, but that hasn't affected his mindset.
No, I don't ever condone a player downing tools because he don't think the manager likes him.
I'm not condoning it, but an emotional player, you could understand why he was upset.
But as a fan, emotional players piss you off a little bit because you think, come on, we're paying to come here, at least give it a go. Right? Yeah. So what's happening now is with him is he's embraced his role at the club, and every opportunity that he gets to come on or start in the Conference League, he's given it his best. He's not letting people down, and he's done that a lot in the past. He has, and he's let himself down oftentimes in the past. I think he needs to start against Liverpool because we need to take the game to them a little bit. We can't sit back and be ultra defensive. He's got more going forward than some of them offer. So I think, I'm not going to give him what Rice got an 8.
No,
I'll definitely give him a 7.
Yeah, it's a high 7 as well. I think.
Yeah,
I think because he was brilliant. I think when he came on, I don't think he couldn't have been any better. He did have a chance to. It was like Paqueta had the first chance. He fluffed it at the defender. It spilled to him, and it was just inside the 18-yard box. He did have a good chance to hit the target. And look, somebody with Benrahma and Paqueta's talent, you'd expect him to be able to fucking pick a shot and hit the target, wouldn't you? No. But yeah, so yeah, I think the 7's fair. David Moyes, I'll take Moyesy today. Normally give him away. I'd like to give him away. David Moyes for me, it's just the same shit as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we're going to grind out enough results. We are. I think we're going to be okay. But we still haven't seen a good performance this season. Scratch the European games against fucking the equivalent of Kidderminster Harriers. We're still in the league. We're still not seeing exciting performances. We're still kind of, we played a shit Wolves team. We're still not seeing good performances. A Fulham game was fucking hard. It was hard to watch. Every single game this year, we haven't. I don't know when. I
disagree. Every single game.
Well, what? Give me a game where we've played well the whole way through.
Okay.
Nottingham Forest.
Very few teams play well from start to finish. Let me just say that.
Give me an example.
Hang on a minute. Every team will have spells in a game. Every team. Don't matter who you play.
What I'm saying is, John, this transitional play where we're converting to a different style, which is what he keeps on going on about, we're seeing no sniff of that.
Well, we are, aren't we?
We're not. You're seeing a few new players coming in and dragging us over the line. Paqueta and Scamacca have got us over the line in a few games. We are not seeing a passing, fluid game. It ain't happening. The fucking style is the same. We're still seeing Souček in that fucking team. You've still got Soufal winning.
That's the biggest bone of contention for me. Is Souček.
Yeah, I know. But if you want to play a passing game, you don't put someone who can't pass in the middle of the team. You don't do that. So for me, based on this today, I think you kind of he made the Ben Rama sub. He set us up negatively, not just in formation, but in mindset. Because you saw that, and then you saw the way those same 11 players came out in the second half with different instructions. They went at Southampton, we looked threatening. So that was the game plan. He then shifted it. He made a change. He brought Benny on, proved why Benny should be fucking starting games like he should have been all this year. And then he left the remaining. It was like he was happy at that point. Once we scored, once the goal went in, you saw Southampton rolling the dice, throwing on 4 players going after the game. Moyes basically brought on 2 subs at the end to kill the game, to run the clock down. Because taking off Lanzini for Paqueta and Scamacca for Antonio is nothing but a downgrade. And I like Antonio, I like Lanzini, but that is a downgrade. That's just running the clock down. He played for the fucking point. For me, I'm sorry. I'm not happy with it. I'm not. I know we've crawled through the last 2 games and the league games, and we've got results against a really fucking shit Wolves team who the manager then got the sack from. And we were
that's got nothing to do. But that's got nothing to do with it because
but we were lucky that game weren't out of sight against Fulham after half time. We were lucky
that
Mitrovic weren't fit.
But how comes you can say we were unlucky in that game, but then you will not admit that we were unlucky against Forest, for example?
We were unlucky against Forest, but everyone's battered Forest this year. They're bottom of the league. Everyone's battered them.
Not everyone's battered them at all.
Well, the only win they've got is us.
Yeah, but how lucky were they? It was their first. It was the whole bounce. It was the whole bounce scenario. Listen, the worst game we had was Brighton. We were terrible from start to finish. Right. The only thing I'd agree with you is not the only thing I'd agree with you, but the main problem at the moment is Souček, because the games are won and lost in midfield, specifically in the centre of midfield. In my opinion, I know goals win matches. But a lot of the creativity and a lot of the transition and link-up play comes through the middle. The problem at the minute is Souček has no fluidity in his style of play anymore. He slows everything down, and that is where the problem is now.
And that's Moyes' fault.
Yes, okay, maybe it is now. But I don't know what. I don't know what. I mean, people say Moyes has a personal problem against Downs not wanting to play him. But he's playing him in Europa.
It ain't just Downs. You had Fornals on the bench today. He hasn't got a personal.
Fornals hasn't been good this season.
Because I know what you mean. He's playing him at left wing. He's playing him at put Souček left wing. See how he does. But what I'm saying is, I don't get it. Now look, I'm going to give him a 4, but I ain't going to give him a donkey because I don't want to cause ructions in the chat. So I'm not going to
give him what you want. You got don't be flaky. I'm
not being flaky. He's getting a 4.
Give him a donkey's head.
You know what that means anyway.
Give him a donkey head.
Okay.
Give him a donkey head, or you score him a 5. Yeah.
There you go. Donkey head. There you go. How'd you like that, Moisey?
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Them's the rules. 0 to 4 is a donkey.
Their opinions.
That was a 4. So that was a 4. I think him and his 2 Czech bunnies that he keeps on fucking playing all the time is got to stop. It has got to stop. You know.
Yeah, but Nick, let me say something to you, just to stop you there. I agree with the Souček thing. Soufal's only in the team, whether you like it or not.
He's only been dropped for 1 game, John, hasn't he? At right back.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. He got dropped at exactly the right time that Dawson came back. He was never going to be a long-term fixture. Kehrer will be right back. Dawson, unfortunately, got fit after coming on in midweek against Anderlecht. If Dawson hadn't got injured, Soufal would have not been in the team today. Sorry. What happened there? It made my head look massive for it is.
It's because it is massive. Massive.
Jesus. So,
but look,
that's where I stand with it.
But look, that's about it. Does anybody want to phone in and give their take on the game? Shall I put the number up quickly? Let's zoom that out, John. You're scaring me. Hang on.
Well, you did it.
There you go. That's better.
What did you do that for? Why did you do that?
That's how it was at the start of the stream. I don't know why it zoomed in now.
It weren't like that. It weren't like that. That was like Babe Station, that bit.
It was Babe Station.
All these people in the chat, they're all too scared to call in, aren't they? That's what it is.
All right.
Yeah, put the
There you
number
go.
up, and we'll see if anyone wants to call in.
We'll give it 5 minutes. If no one calls in, then we'll take it from there. But that was my take.
Listen,
it ain't the end of the world. We've drawn away from home. On paper, we've drawn away from home. The stats weren't bad. We had a makeshift defence. So on paper, a point away from home isn't bad. But anyone that watched it, yeah, there's 3 points there. There's 3 points there.
Yeah. Look, to me now, the biggest problem is Soucek, because when I watch Downs, I see. Look, when we see Scamacca, we sort of realise what we've been missing as an attacking, as a forward.
Yeah.
When I've seen Downs, and yes, it's only bloody Europa League. When I've seen Downs, I sort of think, you know what? He's got a bit of energy about him. He looks like he wants the ball. He'll pass the ball forward. I just think, to me, that Soucek. Look, I'm not saying his career's over at West Ham by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely think he needs to come out of the team for a little bit.
Yeah, no.
I genuinely do. I genuinely do. So if anyone wants to call in, listen, no opinion will be mugged off or laughed at. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Me and Nick, to some instances, we have polar opposite of opinions, but we still respect each other.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
To a degree.
But
they're all kicking off in the chat. Be civil, people. Be civil.
Oh, we are. Someone wants to take me out for a beer. Virgil looks like the guy you would have a great night out with after a few beers. Come on then, take me out. Who's this? Is this man?
Mate, honestly, it gets to about 10 o'clock. When he says round, he disappears. So it does.
No, I just think, honestly, now, look, I'm not a person who calls out players and all that. It's not my style. But
no,
I think Soucek needs to come out. But he won't come out against Liverpool. He'll start. So.
Yeah, no, I know. So I think Eric's probably got a good point here. No one's rung in because you've covered everything. That is a good point.
Yeah, but don't mean people can't have an opinion.
Yeah, that's it. If you like I say, that's fine. That's fine. I'm kind of it is what it is. We're going to play on Wednesday. I'm not expecting a win on Wednesday against Liverpool. I'm not. I'm expecting us to have a go. I'm expecting West Ham to have a go on Wednesday, as I always want us to. When we played Man City, we didn't get out of our own fucking half. When we played against Chelsea this year, the first half was gutless, and that was at a period where everyone was beating Chelsea at that time, but we decided to just set up negatively. I want to see us have a go. I want to see us have a go at Liverpool. I want to see us have a go at Man United as well. But you know what? It's just not going to happen. You're going to see the stock formation. I hope that he's got his defenders back by that point. We all do. I mean, we need them back. I don't know. It's only 2 or 3 days away, isn't it?
What was Zuma's thing again? What was wrong with him?
He's in isolation because look, Antonio's clearly got COVID. They're just not announcing it, and Zuma's in isolation as well. So, but the trouble is when these you'll never see an announcement from a club now that one of their players has got COVID because it triggers fucking processes and procedures. So all they do is when they've got COVID, they say just stay at home, and they just sweep it under the carpet, which I understand. But yeah, that's fine. It looks like we ain't going to get any calls though, so that's fine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. And like I say, Gary's not going to be back tonight, so we've just done our player ratings. That probably means that we're not going to do our show tonight. If that changes, we'll let you know. But we have we've covered everything. I don't really want to talk about that game again, do you, John?
Nah, and you did a big show last night, innit? If anyone, if people didn't watch last night's show, you, Nigel, and Gary did a good show.
Yeah, watch that one back.
We'll be doing some dailies. There's some daily rambles during the week. So,
indeed. Thank you very much, and speak to you soon. Come on, you irons.
A point gained. Nothing better than a point gained. Come on, you irons.